Oh, yeah. Yeah. This man right here had a day. This man here had a day. Devon Achane single-handedly won leagues for people in Week 17. Kyren Williams single-handedly won leagues for people in Week 17. We got a lot of moon men to talk about. Isaiah Pacheco dropping loads. The Fantasy Football Show. The Devon Achane Celebration Show. The New Year's. The 2024 show. Happy New Year's to everybody in New York on the East Coast. It is 2024 for you. We still got a good 2 hours or hour and 55 minutes before your boy Smitty heads into 2024. So right now, you're in the future, I'm in the past, and I'm celebrating Devon Achane. Let's go, the Fantasy Football Show celebration, Week 17, winners and losers. Devon Achane Show begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live!
Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Live whenever news breaks, live after games, and that's what we're here to do, is discuss not only what you did in your fantasy football championship week, whether you won, you lost, won some, lost some, how'd you do on Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. I'll tell you how I did. It was a mixed bag for me on Underdog. I was in it up until the end. I'll talk about that in a minute. Devon Achane, can we just do a standing ovation real quickly for Devon Achane? Real quickly, where's the Devon Achane celebration button? All the haters coming in left and right all week long. Oh, I'm not going to fall for that trap again, Smitty. When the man goes out, rushes 14 times for 107 yards in a Dolphins Week 17 loss to the Ravens, adding 4 receptions for 30 yards and a touchdown. Devon Achane did work. He was an absolute monster, absolute gem, and I think he deserves some celebrating.
Achane. Achane is the man. His haters call him small,
but he is 9 feet tall.
Achane did work, but so did this man, Kyren Williams. So many of you dominated your week 17 fantasy football championship games because this man, Kyren Williams, decided to do work. Kyren, let me put Kyren's numbers on screen so everybody can rejoice and relish in the man known as Kyren Williams. Kyren dropped 3 touchdowns amongst other things in this game. 20 totes, 87 yards, 3 touchdowns in the Rams Week 17 win against the Giants, single-handedly walking people into championships. Devon Achane, if you didn't know, if you just missed it and walked in, or you want to hear it again, 14 totes, 107, a touchdown receiving, 30 yards on 4 catches, was an absolute monster, an absolute gem. Of course, you know CeeDee Lamb. Of course, you know all the other boys before this morning's kickoff. We had a number of really good players to discuss off at the top of this show, but I wanted to kick this off with a few players that deserve to be talked about above all others. This man Lamar Jackson just won the MVP. I don't want to hear any more Brock Purdy. I don't even want to hear at this point, I don't want to hear any other names. This man went out 18 of 21, 321, 5 touchdowns. Ravens Week 17 win against the Dolphins. This guy won the MVP. And this might be good for Brock Purdy and the Niners, so they stop getting distracted by this MVP talk. But Brock is out. Brock is not in the MVP talk any longer. This is your winner. And anybody coming in throwing hate at this man winning the MVP, they aren't watching football. They've got goggles on and they're watching their own team and their own team alone. Lamar Jackson, absolutely, like these two gentlemen, like Kyren Williams, like Devon Achane, single-handedly, potentially, for some of you, won your week single-handedly. I mean, did absolute work. This man, Isaiah Pacheco, ran the ball 18 times. Might I remind you, this is a moon man.
Mashed potatoes. Yeah, buddy.
Might I remind you, this is a moon man. 18 totes, 130, 7 receptions, 35 yards, and a touchdown.
Let's go, mashed potatoes. Yeah, buddy.
Did I mention he was a
To the moon.
moon man extraordinaire? Did that ever cross your mind? Devon Achane doing absolute work. And this little gem that we've been kicking around for weeks now. A lot of you picked him up because we talked about him weeks ago, and you keep playing him. Why? Because he keeps delivering. He could have had a better day, too. He almost punched in a touchdown, 71 yards, and then 5 catches for 35 yards. It was definitely a nice little outing for Zamir White. He did good work. Josh Allen had 2 touchdowns on the ground, 169 and an interception in the Bills' 27-21 Week 17 win over the Patriots. This team is hungry, and I know Josh Allen can make mistakes. I know Diggs is not, up to par right now, nor do I know that he'll ever bounce back, to be honest. This team's winning in other ways. Sure, they're kind of struggling, but they're dangerous. Every single game, one game at a time, they can baby step themselves into the next round and into the next round, and I fully think they're going to be a big-time threat, one of the top 2 teams left at the end of the day in the AFC when all is said and done. But we'll see about that. Hang tight. And this man, not that man. We need to talk about him too. But where's Dalton Kincaid? Dalton Kincaid popped back onto the scene. 4 of 7, 87 yards in this Bills Week 17 win. He's very reliable right now, I think, for Josh Allen, given Diggs is non-existent, given Gabe Davis can, come in and out, pop him in and out of existence. And Dawson Knox took a headshot, came back into the game. But even after he came back into the game, Dalton Kincaid is the man that was leaned upon. So more to come on Dawson Knox. Clearly, Dawson Knox being out does help tremendously the volume potentially for Dalton Kincaid. But given that he did return to the game, Dawson Knox, after the head injury, and Dalton still did well, I think there's still a lot of room for, expecting, I think, this man to potentially become the player we wanted him to become all year. He did in spots, and I think, as I said before, we watch him evolve in the NFL playoffs and become a player we are very excited about walking into 2024. So Dalton Kincaid, fantastic little game for that man. Justin Fields, a Mars man, a Moon man, and a very big disappointment on the year, I will admit, overall, for sure. But he did step up in a big, major way in this Week 17 if you did have him. There were questions where people had Fields and they had Stroud, they had Fields, they had other options. And they were tough calls. There was no easy call to count on Fields, especially with DJ Moore hurt. But DJ Moore absolutely exploded in this game too. I'll have his lineup. He was a tough player to fully trust. So you can't kick yourself too hard if you sat one of Moore or Fields, because there were questions, definitely questions involved. 20 of 32, 268, 1 touchdown in the win over the Falcons, adding 11 carries for 45 yards and a touchdown. He was a really, really solid play. And this win, this team, the vibe, you gotta wonder what the Chicago brass is thinking moving forward. Because they got a dilemma on their hands, because they locked down. Now, this isn't adjusted, but this 1 pick is there. They've locked down. I think the Cardinals now with the 4 pick. I got to resort this, but Chicago does have that 1 pick kind of locked down, and we'll fix that board up for tomorrow. And you got to wonder what they're going to do. They're going to draft Marvin Harrison Jr. and figure out how to build around Fields, or they're going to trade Fields. I hope they trade him. I don't want Fields in Chicago. I want him somewhere else. But Fields did work. Congrats to anybody that had the balls to play him. There was some risk, but there was a lot of upside as well. Deebo Samuel could have had a better day, this Moon Man extraordinaire, but he still continues to do work. He had a touchdown, 37 yards, 5 receptions. It got it done. Moon Man extraordinaire.
Let's go, mashed potatoes.
Delivering. Moon Man delivering seems to be a common theme in Week 17. Deebo to the freaking moon. This man right here has been a darling of the channel for some time. He was not a Moon Man, I admit, But we definitely love this guy. Rashee Rice came in as a nice little rookie prospect, and we've liked him every single week. We've liked him more and more and more. And 5 receptions, 127 in this contest. He's been Mahomes' only reliable target because the guy known as Travis Kelce, Travis Swift, whatever his name is dog water. Is absolute. I don't even know where I put him on my screen. Dog water. The guy's gone. Who would have known? How did Taylor Swift know? Did I even put him? Is he even worth putting on my board? Did I put him anywhere? I don't even see him. I don't even think I put him anywhere. I think I kicked him off my board. I think I got so disgusted looking at him. Travis Kelce, imagine if you were Taylor Swift and you thought you were dating a starter. You know what I'm saying? You're like, is this guy good? Yeah, he's a real good player. Are you sure about that? You sure about that? She's watching the game. You're looking at her friend, because she watched the season prior and she said, he's a top guy in the NFL. You sure about that? I don't think he is. Rashee Rice to the moon, I think is what I was trying to say, and I got sidetracked. Zay Flowers. Moon man extraordinaire, Zay Flowers. 3 of 3 for a $106 and a tutty.
Mashed potatoes.
Zay coming through in the clutch, getting better every single day. Can't wait for this kid to evolve in the playoffs, in the NFL playoffs, because that's what he's going to do. That's what Zay's born to do. We've got, so we got Kyren, ETN. Look, I'll admit, this is a tough call for some of you. Had the weirdest questions, though, like, should I start Kyren, CMC, Kamara, ETN? Like, you had 5 top 5 running backs. Most people fortunately didn't have the luxury of even contemplating another option, and you had ETN deliver 16 totes for 102 and 2 touchdowns in this Jaguars win over the Panthers, and 2 receptions for 16 yards. ETN is absolute glory. Absolute glory. I'm going to get to a lot of your questions in a minute. Thank you for watching this, guys. You guys are absolutely amazing. Let's see here. We got this one here. Davante Adams. Okay, one of the better trade 4 players. A lot of risk. He's been up and down. Let's admit that it hasn't been all roses and white doves and silver, whatever. This has been a absolute up and down roller coaster because this offense is exactly what we predicted it would be in the offseason. An absolute disaster, a garbage dump, an up and down situation. But O'Connell was the only, if you go back and watch every single Raider trashing video I did, where I talked trash about this Raider situation, I predicted that Josh Jacobs would miss the final 2, 3, 4 weeks of the season. Every time I talked about Josh Jacobs, I told you he was going to sit out the final 3, 4 weeks with a little itty bitty poo injury. Just a little ouchie poo. Because, and I don't necessarily blame him, but to protect himself, safeguard himself, get the next contract. They did him dirty by franchise tagging this man. So what's he going to do? Do it dirty back. He's going to do it dirty back to make sure he's healthy for his free agency big year where he goes out and tries to get his last and final contract, which he might not have any way of getting a good little situation brewing, because guess what? In this offense, he played like dog water. But that's neither here nor there. This was the one player that we circled back around and said, now that you've avoided Adams at high ADP, now that you've avoided Jacobs at high ADP, who do you come in and trade low on and buy for dirt cheap as people run away from him? This man, Davante Adams, it hasn't been perfect. He's had bad games, he's had good games, but he delivered in week 17, 21 targets. Are my eyes playing a trick on me? 13 of 21 targets? Are you out of your mind? 126, 2 tutties, and 21 targets? If you get points for targets, bro.
Mashed potatoes. Yeah, buddy.
Single-handedly helped win championships. Single-handedly. Jalen Hurts, 167, 3 tutties. Love the man. Keep hating on him. Keep yelling, cry, Eagles, cry. So bad. I like Eagles. Keep saying whatever you want. I could care less what seed they are. I could care less what happens. Watch Jalen work. Watch Jalen work. You know how calm and cool Jalen is? Watch this. Hey, Jalen, your house is on fire. Oh, yeah? Okay. Thanks for telling me. Hey, Jalen, you just won $10 million. Oh, yeah? Okay. Thanks for telling me. Doesn't matter what you tell him. Negative, positive, tough situation, easy situation, calm, cool. He's going to pull it together. This is not the same team they were the year prior. Let's be honest. That's why they're going like this. But they're still a team that can beat any team at any moment, at any time. And in fantasy, he's been glory. And I can't wait to draft him next year. Thank you, Jalen, for your service. Now, before we get to all the other news on the screen, then the super chats, which are piling in, and I appreciate you. Let's talk a little bit about Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. I'm going to drop the link in the live chat right now. I'm going to pin said link in the live chat right now so you guys can play Week 18 and do some drafts, but you can also do some playoff stuff because the playoff drafts are coming for you, and they're amazing. The mittens, the big mitten, the little mitten, and the mittens are basically you draft a team and it's got to go through the entirety of the playoffs, meaning you got to draft a good wild card team that can still make it all the way to the championship, a good balance. Your boy was in the running. There was a point where I had a team in the 2023 preseason best ball where I reached 5K. There was a point where it said 15, but I didn't get a snapshot of it. But your boy was bouncing back and forth, and I didn't win this. I just want to preface that this was where it was. It was at 5, then it jumped to 15. It was the teeter-tottering between 5 and 15, right around like 40th place, 30th place, like up and down, and then you get into like the 10s and you start seeing huge money. I was bouncing all around in there, and I had Christian McCaffrey and Alvin Kamara both go down at this juncture of teeter-tottering. And my team just they had no more juice. And I still somehow, some way managed to grab a K. Okay, so we got a thou. We got a thou. You can see it right here. 80th place out of 111,000 in the 2023 pre-best ball tournament. I'm proud of it, but I'm very disappointed because the fact that I was literally like 30 points away from... no, I think I was 39 points away, I think, from having first, or 40 points away from having first. Without McCaffrey or Kamara blowing up, I think I would have been right there for the 200K. This is a 200K prize. I think second place is 100 or 50, and then it trickles down 10, 9, 8, or whatever. I was in it. I was in it. Kamara goes down. CMC goes down. These guys right here completely disappointed me. I'll never forgive CMC for this. I will never, ever, ever forgive CMC for what he did to me this day. 64 yards, 27 additional receiving. A pretty decent little outing at first, and then he goes down, and they take him out. Calf injury, we got to monitor that, but I will never forgive him for this day. Never forgive him. CMC, I'm pissed off, bro. I'm not going to lie. And then where's the Alvin Kamara news? I got Alvin Kamara somewhere in here. Alvin Kamara also was injured, got his ankle caught up, twisted, ruled out. 10 carries, 45 yards, 2 catches, 4 additional yards. That took me out. But your boy still got 80th place out of 111,000 in this 2023 pre-draft best ball. I'm proud of it, but man, I mean... You know, I wanted to get the big win for the show. And it's not even about the money necessarily. It'd be nice, but I wanted to get that top, 1 to 10 win for the show. It was the thing I needed most for Christmas. It was the thing I asked Santa for, and I wanted it for Christmas. But anyway, 80 is still a good placing out of 111,000. So I'm proud of it, but it's definitely not what it could have been. It could have been, and this wasn't even the top of the top, the 5K. I mean, this, like I said, I can get a screenshot of when it went to 15 briefly. It was 5K, let's ride. 5K would have been nice, and that would have been a high placing. This is my other one. This is the 2023 season Superflex Best Ball Draft. Finished 29th. Okay, that's good. That's good. I'm proud of that. Had some major injuries on the team, too. Burrow. A guy hit hard, so the fact that this even did this well, I was pretty impressed with it. Love came through as my super flex quarterback. 160 points, I believe, like 190 to 200 won it. And so this would have been a nice little, I think it was 50K, 20K, whatever the first place was. But 29th place, $250. That wasn't like a huge prize because it was a little bit of a smaller league. 66,000 entrants in this one. But it did come down to a handful of them, right? And then you lose a lot of them as you go through the week. And these two floated up to the top pretty well. I'm proud of my best ball experience for 2023 at least. I mean, this is nothing to cry about, you know, to get this far. 29th and 80th in two major best ball tournaments. So I'm proud of that. But man, I would have loved to have come home with a 5K placing, top 15, top 10 placing in this. It is what it is, but fantastic. If you guys want to do this for 2024 and be a part of it and come back and celebrate and rejoice in this, circle on back over, and I would love for you to hit that link that I pinned in the live chat and do some best ball drafts with me. Appreciate you all. Let's get to the rest of the news real quickly, and then we'll jump to the super chats. This one right here, James Conner, 26, 128, and a touchdown, and added 5-yard touchdown reception. This is what we were talking about when we were delving into Connor or this guy questions. He's always so potentially fantastic especially when you're considering benching him after like a bad game. Connor comes in and does a 2-touchdown game. JT, 96 yards and a touchdown. Fantastic game for JT. JT was good in this one. This one right here, DJ Moore, 9 of 13, 159 and a touchdown. So much for his high ankle. And this is why I kind of cautioned a little bit toward the high ankle maybe not being as high ankle as people make it out to be, because every high ankle sprain is different. There's different severity levels. So, but he was a tough play if you had a couple like Devonta Smith safer option who got injured as well. And while we're on that topic, I might as well pull up Devonta Smith and mention him because he got injured in this game. And let me pull up Devonta Smith. Here we go. Devonta Smith had 3 catches for 30 yards, suffered a right leg injury, was seen on crutches and a walking boot after the game. So I'll update you on that tomorrow. Hopefully he's okay moving forward, and this is a precautionary type of situation. But there's definitely a potential that he could sit out or something like that. And while we're on the injury front news, Kenneth Walker got injured after looking pretty good. 10 totes, 53 yards and a touchdown, and then got a shoulder injury. Kind of went back in for a minute, then went back out, fumbled the ball, and they're like, we got to take him out. Took him out. He didn't finish the game, and that cost some people some points, but at least he did do some damage before he stepped out. T. Higgins got injured in the beginning of this game, really. 1 of 2 targets, 19 yards. He's always a disappointment at the end of the day. He really is, and who knows where he goes if he gets retained. He's a good player, but he feels like Waddle. Waddle and Higgins will never be bona fide top 10 overall wide receivers to me. They just won't. They're elite potential wide receiver 2s in fantasy, but they're not bona fide 1s. I don't care where they land. They're disappointments at the end of the day. Jamar Chase was a disappointment in this game. 3 of 7, 41 yards. I'll be honest. I love Jamar Chase. I don't think he can breach my top 5 next year. He'll definitely be an 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Big wide range because a lot of things need to depend on where I slot him. A lot of moving parts. How's Kyren finish? Kyren's in my top 5? How does Puka finish? Puka looks amazing. How do all these different players finish? How does Gibbs finish? How does Breece Hall finish? All these guys could essentially bump Chase down to that 12-13 turn where I love Chase, but is Chase somebody you can draft at 3 or 4? I know Burrow's not there, but there's a lot of reasons why you're going to be like, okay, can he put it all together for multiple seasons in a row is the reason to be concerned. Punch that thumb up button. 221 of you in here, and only 58 have punched the thumb up button. Do it live for your boy. 41 yards. Tough to know, what to make of him walking into the next season. Of course we love him. Of course he's a fantasy football wide receiver 1. But it is going to be hard to, I think, fully trust him as a top 4 overall player. Top 4 overall player. Top 4 wide receiver, sure. But top 4 overall player, I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm not writing him off. Puka Nacua, 5 of 8, 118 yards. Almost had a touchdown. Got caught. Got tracked down after he broke free on a big, huge run. Cooper Kupp, 4 of 6, 21 and a touch. The Rams are just hungry. Rams want it. The Rams want it bad, and the Rams are doing it live. And Cooper Kupp's getting older, but he's still able to produce. This might be his last hurrah, though. Just letting you know. Just letting you all know. Kyler Murray doing work. 25-31, 232, 3 touchdowns and an interception, adding 5 carries for 24 yards. He was fantastic. For those of you that had the balls to put Kyler in your lineup over a very similar option that might have even looked a little safer. So congrats if you had those cojones. 122 and 2 touchdowns for Najee. We had a couple Najee questions, I think. For the most part, we said give Najee the go in those questions, but he wasn't the safest play, but he had played well the last couple weeks. So we looked at his game log, a couple questions last night. We're like, wow, this guy's been playing pretty well. Let's plug him in. Let's do it live. And he did it live. 2 touchdowns, 100 plus. Love it. DK Metcalf, 106, 5 receptions. Very solid. Could have used some scores, but that's okay. Isaiah Likely was a monster. 42 yards and 2 touchdowns. Looking great in your fantasy football underdog fantasy playoff drafts where you can draft Lamar and Likely and Gus Bus. And in the mittens on underdog, try it. Hit the code. The code's in the code, Smitty. And the link is, I just dropped in the live chat again. The link's pinned in the live chat. The link's in the description of the video. And you can draft a playoff team and draft Likely and Lamar. You got to make sure you draft some wild card guys so you can win that week, advance, then have Lamar and the boys for the rest of the fantasy football playoffs. But I mean, playoff drafts are amazing. This here by Jaylen Warren, 75 and a touchdown. Nice little outing. Additional 4 receptions for 23 yards. Jaylen Warren definitely stepping up for people that were in desperation and they put him in. It was hard to play him, but he was a good play. Josh Allen, I already talked about this one. 44 yards and 2 touchdowns. Pretty nice day for him. He did fairly well. He could have been better. Khalil Herbert was amazing, even though Roshan punched in a semi-early touchdown. 124 and a touchdown for Khalil Herbert. 2 receptions for 5 yards. He stepped up big for people that had the guts to put him in the lineup. Brandon Ayuk was amazing. 7 of 8 for 114 and a touchdown. We knew that him and Debo could potentially rotate, and that's kind of what we got in this outing. Perps gifted 50 memberships. Perps to the freaking moon. Perps, appreciate you, Perps. Doing perp work in the perp chat. Appreciate you, Perps. Bradley Chubb carded. DeBalt dropping a 50 watt. I'm coming for you, DeBalt. Bradley Chubb carted off the field, apparent ACL. It sounded like an ACL tear. What in the hell was Miami Mike doing? Putting his starters out there, risking it all. Why you do it? You took Tua out. That was smart. And then you leave a lot of your big stars out there with the game completely out of hand. This is completely on Miami Mike. Did he learn everything from Shanahan in terms of injuries? Look how Miami Mike put Tua at risk when Tua had a concussion back in the day. Shoved him on the field, concussed, and let him get concussed again in the same game. I'm just telling you, this was stupidity, putting Bradley Chubb out there on the field. Carted off the field ACL. Way to go. Now you're down Bradley Chubb. Good luck. Good luck in the playoffs. Diggs, good luck next week trying to win the division. Diggs, 4 of 7, 26 yards. Garbage. Done. You're done. You're done. You're done, Gibbs. As my daughter says to me, you're done. You're done. You're done, Gibbs. Get out of here. Garbage. Done. 30 years old. So, Ziggy, how old is Stephon Diggs?
Stephon Diggs is 29 years old. He was born on
He's not.
November 29,
Ziggy,
1993.
isn't Stephon Diggs 30 years old? Ziggy, isn't Stephon Diggs 30 years old? He's worthless. Diggs is 30. Look it up. Ziggy, you're wrong.
Thanks for letting me know.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, Diggs is 30 years old. He'll be 31 next year. Don't listen to Ziggy. I promise you. Diggs is 30 years old, not 29. He turns 31 this offseason. He's done. You're done. You're done, Diggs. Trevor Lawrence, inactive. That's old news, but man, I mean, ETN stepped up big. I forget why that's even on the screen. That might be old. Rachaad White, 11 totes, 42 yards. Definitely disappointing. 4 receptions for 24 yards. Definitely disappointing. I really wish we could have got a whole lot more out of Rachaad White. That was disappointing. Here's Kelsey. Here's the backup tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. His name's Travis Swift, and he's not very swift at all. 3 of 4, 16 yards. This guy, you're done. You're done. You and Diggs are done. You're done, Kelsey. Get out of here. Garbage. Derrick Henry, this might be his last hurrah too, guys. Say probably goodbye to Derrick Henry. I know he defied the odds again this year, but he's 29. He defied the odds at 28. He's defying the odds for the most part at 29. I mean, you can't say he hasn't. 10 gifted memberships from DeBalt. Appreciate you, DeBalt, dropping 10 gifted memberships. We got 50 from Perps, 10 from DeBalt, $20 hauler from, who's this? $20 hauler from Raider, $20 hauler from Perps, and $50 hauler from DeBalt. I'm coming for you. I'm going to do those first. Hang tight. I'm almost done. 42 yards. Might be the last hurrah from Derrick Henry. So enjoy that while it lasts. Tua Tagovailoa, 237 and 2 touchdowns. He did have the 2 INTs, so he had an okay day in fantasy. Like, not great, but okay if interceptions don't kick you right at the sack. If interceptions are -1, you're probably okay. Brock Purdy, 230 and 2 touchdowns. This is a get-right game for him, and I know a lot of the Niner fans are really excited about that game, but, we'll see what he does next week. It's going to be interesting. They're probably going to sit him because they got the 1 seed clinched up. They're probably going to sit him. I don't know. We'll find out how many minutes or how long some of the starters are going to play. I imagine they play a little bit, maybe a series. I don't know. We'll find out, but Brock Purdy is going to get ready for the playoffs. We'll see what happens. I still don't know. I think the jury's still out on Brock Purdy being as good as everybody thinks he could be for the long term. I'm not saying he can't be, but the jury's still out for me. Gus Edwards, 16 rushes for 68 yards and a touchdown. He felt like he was going to do this. I didn't think he would go crazy, but I thought maybe like 2 touchdowns and 50 yards or 60 or 70 and a touchdown. He did have that kind of day. Bijan Robinson, hopefully this loss here, I prayed for a loss. We all did. And they lost the game to the Bears, got blasted. And so now we hope that this triggers an Arthur Smith firing. I do think it will. I think we'll celebrate it, and at that point, we'll come back around and we'll talk about his 2024 value. He was a hard player to trust this week because Arthur Smith's still in the picture. 75 yards on 15 carries. Look, he did well with what he was given, but Algier gets the long freaking, 60-yard plus receiving touchdown because Bijan's not getting the football in those situations. Is garbage. I hope that we don't have to deal with that next year. Saquon Barkley, and I hope Bijan is a steal, because people don't want to go near it. Saquon Barkley, 12 totes, 39 yards. Kind of expected this from him. Not a great day from Saquon. This one from what's this? McBride. McBride was disappointing to a degree. 6 for 48. Got you about 10, 11 points in certain formats. So not it was salvageable, but people were hoping for huge, like 100 and a touch. Stroud was definitely underwhelming. 213, 1 touchdown. Watch him go absolutely ballistic, next week. Tyreek Hill, 6 receptions, 76 yards, no touchdowns. Kind of a very disappointing week for Tyreek Hill. Devin Singletary, 80 yards and 3 receptions for 6 yards. Decent, not amazing, but decent if you put him in and you got, around 9-10 points. It's not the end of the world for a player that was probably in your flex spot. I was hoping for a little more of the Jerome Ford variety, but he did okay. 13 for 46. You're done. You're done, Eckler. 46. You, Kelsey, Diggs. You're done. You're done. Patrick Mahomes, 21-29, 245, and 1 touchdown. Very underwhelming. We'll see what's in store for this man moving forward, but goodness gracious, Mahomes. You and the Chiefs have to, somehow, some way, it's your division, but somehow, some way you look like you're doing well. Everyone acts like you're doing well, but your team looks like dog water. Let's get to these super chats that are piling up. Let's get to the big ones first, because that's just the nature of this thing. And DeBalt dropping a 50 watt. We got Raider dropping a 20 watt on screen. Raider, I'm going to put you right here. Perps dropping a 20 watt on screen. Let me get these out of the way and off the screen. And did Perps drop another one? Perps dropped another one. Here it is. Perps dropping another 20 watt on screen. Perps, appreciate you. And then I'll get to the rest of them. Let's go with DeBalt, $50 hauler. DeBalt, appreciate you. I'm going to hit the $50 hauler button.
Alert. Alert.
We have a $50 plus super chatter in the house.
That's my boy DeBalt, ladies and gentlemen. Chips this year, 5 championships this year, says DeBalt. That's fantastic, bro. Look at DeBalt. I'm only counting 3 as there are established leagues. Finally won the big money league, 2K for first. You're the best, Smitty, and thank you. Happy New Year to you and your family. Let's freaking go, Smitty fam. DeBalt, so proud of you. Congratulations, you're Smitty approved.
You've just been.
Thank you, pal. Appreciate you. And then George dropping a 50 watt on screen. George, I'm gonna do Perps's 20s here, and then you, pal. Perps says, "Hey Smitty, what's the name of the running back number 4? Oh wait, running back everyone loves to hate, but wishes they had him. Oh, is this the guy you're talking about?"
Your shuttle to Saturn. Your shuttle is leaving. Prepare for departure. Touchdown probability high.
Touchdown probability high. Perps, appreciate your $20 hauler, my young man. And he drops another. The real question, did Denny get his main man Mostert on the bench for the big Dolphin machine? I don't know if he did or not. He is Achane. Or is Denny still looking for the app on his phone? Perps, appreciate your $20 haulers. Let's go, Perps to the moon.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Perps, appreciate you. Perps to the moon. Raider says T-Law, Pickett, Waddle, Garrett Wilson, CMC, Stevenson, Ingram, Connor, Dallas, Koo, Stafford, Flacco, Reed, Flowers, CMC, Connor, Ingram, Rashad White, Green Bay. Let's see, 2 QB, 10-man, ended up 9-5. First seed, took the chip. Thanks, Smitty. Raider, appreciate you dropping that. Congratulations, pal. To the moon. And thank you for the $20 hauler.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Raider to the moon. And then we got a $50 wad on screen.
Alert. Alert.
We have a $50 plus super chatter in the house.
$50 hauler in the house from this man right here, George. George says, popped in to wish the Achane haters a happy new year, but I haven't seen any tonight. What happened? Lost first championship even, but ever wouldn't have made it without help. Have a happy and blessed new year. Looking forward to the off-season content. Appreciate you, George, for dropping that $50 wad. Yeah, I haven't seen any Achane haters lately. I don't see any tonight, to be honest with you. Let me put all these super chats on screen so I can read the comments and talk to you fine folks as well as I do these super chats. Then we'll open the phone lines in just a little bit. Cody, appreciate your super chat. I'm going to put it right here. Hang tight. This one's from Mark. Mark, I'm going to put your super chat right here. This one's from Lev. Lev, appreciate you. I'm putting you right there. Deckard in the house. Appreciate you, Deckard, dropping the super chat. This one's from Manny. Manny to the moon. Appreciate you, Manny. This one's from Megas. Megas with a $10 wad. I'll be coming for you. Rojo with a $5 super chat. Alex with a freaking $5 super chat. Rojo with another $5 super chat. Rojo, appreciate you. David coming in the building. David, we haven't seen you in a bit. Appreciate you very much for dropping that. And I'm coming for you. TP with a $5 hauler and Dark Knight with a $1.99. Dark Knight says, Achane won my league. How are the haters doing today? I don't know, bro. I don't know where the haters are. And I know that Lego Batman did some work. He didn't find Diggs. He didn't find Kelsey. He didn't find Mahomes, but he found Achane and ETN. We gave him a big, long list. That's not his fault. But Achane won leagues for people. Bring it in. Bring it in. Bring it in. Okay. Lower it. Lower it. Keep it coming. Stop. Appreciate you. Dark Knight to the moon. I love that the Achane haters are really dark tonight. It's just quiet. They're in the lurch. They're in the lurch. They're in the fields. They're hiding. Won my championship. Thanks to everyone. Achane to the moon.
To the moon.
Achane to the moon. And he says, Ma, get the meatloaf, Ma. Appreciate you, TM. Appreciate you. David says, won the championship by 14, $1,200 richer. Appreciate you, Smitty, and ready for next year. Happy New Year. Thank you, David, for dropping that. Congrats on your championship, young man. You did it. You did it live. Jaden Reed is a top 10 wide receiver dark horse for next year, says Kendall. I don't hate that prediction. Hopefully he's okay. He did get injured. Thanks, Smitty. Won 2 leagues. Second league was down 50. Love Reed to the moon. Appreciate you. Rojo, congrats on that exciting comeback and win. That's always the best way to do it. Alex, appreciate you. In one of my leagues, in one of my expert Instagram leagues, I was down. I went down. I was expected to lose. I was like 32% chance of winning at one point, and then I just jump right up to 70. It's like, it's funny. You get all anxious about it, but you got to enjoy that roller coaster ride. Yo, Smitty just won 12-man league, 170 to 114. Big thanks. Use your guidance to acquire Brees, Kamara, Lamb with through trades. Thank you, Alex. Appreciate you. Congrats, my guy. This is from Senior Rojo. First league won by 51. Second league comeback by 10 points. Rojo, thank you and congrats, my boy. Nice job. Smitty, I won my 2 main leagues and brought the 1,200 and a trophy for the first time. Also won 5 out of 6 leagues in total. Thanks to your help on trade advice and lineup selections. Have a great 2024. Get ready, Megas. It starts right now, and I appreciate your super chat. You're the man, the myth, the legend. Appreciate you, Megas. Megas to the moon. This one right here, we got turned up. Appreciate you dropping the super. I'll get to you in 1 second. Appreciate you. Laporta, Diggs, Waddle. Colts killed me last week. Thanks for all the advice this year, Smitty. Let's go to the moon 2024. Thank you, Manny. Appreciate you. Yeah, 2024 content begins right this very second. You said when one man doesn't produce, the rest have to step up. Hurts and Amon-Ra, Nico Gibbs, Monty McBride, Zamir Achane made the call to sit Chase and Kittle. 1-1K. I love the balls. I love the admitting and understanding and recognizing that if one player like Gibbs didn't step up, you needed to do what you needed to do to carry the man because he carried you. He put you on his back the entire season. It was your turn, and you stepped up, turned up for him.
Mashed potatoes.
Congratulations. I appreciate your super chat. Thank you very much. Deckard with a $5 hauler. Achane, Amon-Ra in one league. Fields Hall as well. Kyren, Amon-Ra, DJ Moore, Achane in the other. It's a 2-week chip, so one more week to go. Great job. You're in a nice little lead there. Congrats on that. That's awesome. That's amazing. Very, very, very excited for you. Nice job, bro. Hassan, appreciate you. Thanks, Smitty. I won my championship today. Late in finding you, but I'll be on board for next season. You mean now, because it all starts now, and I appreciate you. The appreciation's all on this side of the fence. Don't forget, I work for you. I work for you, okay? Hassan, $10 hauler.
To the moon.
Appreciate Hassan dropping a wad on screen. 2 championships here. Long season with the weight. Lost Burrow and Cousins. Rolled out Kyler and Aaron freaking Jones. Won it for me after being questionable most of the year. Thanks, Smitty. Hassan to the moon. Hassan dropping championships. God, we got a lot of winners in here tonight. $2 hauler. Started 0-5 and won it all. Thanks, Smitty. Blessed Adams. Adams to the moon. Won you a chip, bro. Would have traded Chase in Dynasty for St. Brown and Puka, or would I? Chase for St. Brown and Puka, or Chase for Ayuk and Olave? I'd trade Chase for St. Brown and Puka in a millisecond, Cody, in a heartbeat. And that doesn't mean I hate Chase. It's just an amazing trade. Championship, thanks to Brees, ETN, Puka to the moon. Let's go. Everett, appreciate you dropping the super chat, and congrats on that, my broski. And Felix coming in strong. Just got gifted a gifted membership, and I took down Underdog Battle Royale for $20K today, says Felix. Our own just won Battle Royale, $20K, Felix. Let's freaking go.
Mashed potatoes. Yeah, buddy.
Our community is turning it up, is what I'd like to say. Happy New Year, says Zach. Zach, thank you for the super chat. And I think the final super chat to get caught up. No, I think I already did that one championship here. Long season. Yeah, I got Hassan's out of the way. All right, let's, in the meantime, until other super chats come in, let's dial up.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Wow. What a year. I can't believe it is over, though. You know, it feels like it was a long season, a lot of injuries. A lot of injuries, but it is what it is, and we made it through. At the end of the day, this is a very successful season. You know, I would have liked to have won the 15K, the 10K, the 5K, whatever it would have turned out to be for me if CMC and Kamara stepped up, but it's still fun. We still smash. I mean, I won a lot of my other leagues too, but I was really wanting to win the underdog leagues out of all of them, and so to come away with a freaking what place did I get again? To come away with a 80th. Could you guys mute real quick unless I'm talking to you first? Thank you. Just hit mute for everybody could. To come away with the 29th place team on a big tournament with 60 to 70,000 people in this one, and to come away with 80th place when I really lost Kamara and Christian McCaffrey, would have probably been top 10 easy. If not, who knows? I could have won the whole thing, to be honest, because I was only like 30 points away, and McCaffrey and Kamara both went down. My two best players, practically, or my two best running backs by far. Very solid year at the end of the day, and there were 112,000, I think, entrants in this one. So it was fun. And I urge you all to give Underdog a try. Underdog Fantasy, the link's in the description. It just makes the ending so much more climactic. And you also, just during the year, you can do all kinds of weekly stuff that makes fantasy football amazing. And won my league 175 to 85 today, thanks to you, Smitty. Finally, Diamond ranked on Yahoo Fantasy, Brees, Achane, and Kyren to the moon. Appreciate you, bro. All right, somebody didn't mute. Who's hacking over there or doing something and making all this noise? Who is that? Is it TM?
Not me.
No one ever admits it. Salty, is that you making noise?
Nah, I'm muted the whole time.
All right. No one's going to admit it. Let's go over to TM42 since I think he was here. That's right. TM42, you're first. Go. You're live.
Yes, sir. Just wanted to call in, congratulate everybody who won their leagues and got their championships. I won two of mine, and I wouldn't be here without your help, Smitty. You're the best.
Thanks, bro.
At the end of the day, we have to make our own decisions, but we're guided by your advice and your knowledge every day. So
hey, man, I
appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
Yeah,
I appreciate you, bro. I'm just pumped that. I mean, what an amazing year at the end of the day. Like I had a great year. I know some people. It's funny because like a lot of haters will come in here, and they'll say like, oh, you predicted so many big things for Bijan, like. Can't believe that. How do you feel? Like, it's like, what's weird about fantasy is if you hit every single one of those things, you wouldn't even like. I think I'd still do this, to be honest with you, because I love what I do. But like, if you were nailing 100% of everything you did, you'd be just sitting there in Vegas constantly, just cleaning up, or you do a year of that, then you go golfing the rest of your life. Like, no one's gonna hit 100%. This business is a tough business. Not complaining, I love it. But you're going to have injuries that take out big, bold predictions of yours. You're going to have Arthur Smith come in and take out big, bold predictions of yours. But at the end of the day, I would have to say this season, if I was to rate the season personally, like inward looking, I've had years where I'm like, good God. Like last year, to be honest with you, I don't think last year was even close to one of my best seasons. Because Brees Hall was a huge prediction that got taken out by an ACL tear. Javonte got taken out by an ACL tear. I got hit left and right last year with some major injuries, and it is what it is. That's part of the game, but we still had an amazing year at the end of the day. We still kind of recovered, but I would say it wasn't it was by far one of my least favorite years in terms of the predictions and how the outcomes came about. And this year, we got hit with some of the craziest things, like the Aaron Rodgers Achilles, hurt Brees Hall, hurt Garrett Wilson, Arthur Smith killed Bijan Robinson. But I still feel like we hit so many things in general, especially like adjust and adapt, wise, that I feel like this is one of the best seasons in terms of content creation, just because there were so many amazing adjust and adapt calls and things that we did that I think were just absolutely league winning and phenomenal. Even the Achane was some of that was preseason, but it wasn't like he was on the Moon Man list. But that Moon Man list doesn't define everything that this channel does. Mars Man. You don't have to be on the Mars Man list or the Moon Man list to be one of the show's biggest hype players. It's just that's preseason. And sometimes a mildly hyped player like Achane in the preseason becomes overly exhausted, to a degree where people get pissed off and there's haters growing by the day on Achane, most hyped player. So like I had fun this year. This year I'm a little sad that this year's over, but nothing's better than the off season. So I can't wait. I can't freaking wait. Let's roll. Let's ride. Devon Achane country. Let's ride. All right. Do you have any questions for me, TM? Anything else 2024 related?
No, just wanted to thank you. And, I had Jordan Love, this team that I won with was a number 6 seed, and it was just an adjust and adapt kind of a roster.
Yeah,
I had Achane, Zamir, Njoku. I picked him up for Mark Andrews. So you just got to adjust and adapt, like you said. And, and yeah, it was a fun year for sure.
Yeah. Can't wait for next year. Can't wait for next year. We got the Saturn men. Jahmyr Gibbs will probably be on that list, I imagine. We got the Saturn men, we got the Moon men, and we got the Mars men. So there will be 3 different, maybe 4, but probably 3 different lists. And the Saturn men will probably be the top of the food chain. Mars men will be the mid-range guys, and the Moon men will be the lower range, but they're all going to be league winners. But we're just going to have a different group of spacemen this year.
Yeah.
All right, bro.
For later on for the Saturn men, I think, and then you fill up the Moon men first.
Yeah, it probably. Well, it depends. I think Gibbs is gonna. Sometimes that's the way you want to do it, but you can't unveil the biggest predictions too late, or then they don't help people. So. I get what you're saying, but at the end of the day, It can't work like that. It's gonna be like, okay, well, hey, this is my biggest prediction. I want to start talking about it now. I can't just put them on the Moon Man list because of that. All right, hey, appreciate you, bro. Yeah. TM42 to the
buddy.
moon. Later, bro. All right, go to Sebastian.
Later.
Sebastian, you're live.
Hey, Smitty, I happened to demolish my league. I finished 15-2. And I remember I mentioned I forgot to start Aubrey, so I decided, you know what, let's throw a dart at Harrison Butker. And my team dominated so much to the point where I sat JJ to just clinch it, because I was up by 5 points. So I just sat him, and I pretty much played the championship without my best player.
Nice job, bro. Nice win. Nice job. Any other championships or any other underdog stuff? How'd you do on underdog? It's hard to get in those tournaments.
I didn't do best ball. I want to do a lot of that next year, actually, now that I have a grip on fantasy, but I didn't jump in as soon as I would have liked.
Yeah.
But I did win my Superflex League with Lamar and Mahomes, and then it was at Pollard and Monty and Waddle for Debo, and what was his face? And JT, that league won as well.
Nice job, bro. All right, man. Appreciate you.
Sir, appreciate you.
All right. Sebastian to the moon. Later, pal. Call back if you got another one. Ellie with a $20 hauler. Appreciate you. Hold on, callers. Mute yourself if you could real quickly.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Ellie dropping a $20 hauler. Smitty, found your channel too late at the end of the last year. I followed your advice this season. Drafted Gibbs, Walker, Achane, Amon-Ra, Tank Dell. I took the championship for the first time. Mashed potatoes. Let's go. Congrats, bro. It's so fun to hear these stories, man. $20 hauler. Appreciate your support. Appreciate you coming in and being generous to just say, you know what I mean? That's just awesome, man. You won it. You come in here. You celebrate it with us. Welcome to the family. Get ready for another killer offseason. It begins right now. 2024 doesn't begin weeks from now. My rankings come out in June. No, it's January 1. It's right now. Tomorrow we start talking 2024. We'll do some playoff stuff and everything, but it's 2024. $10 hauler from Dylan.
The moon.
Dylan says, sorry it took me so long to do a super chat, Smitty. We don't get a good signal over here on Saturn. No problem. 110 team, PPR, 11-3 regular season, won most points as well. Happy New Year. Love the show. The show loves you back, Dylan. Appreciate you calling in from Saturn, super chatting from Saturn. Won my league, 175-85 today, thanks to you, Smitty. Finally, diamond ranked on Yahoo. I think I read that one already, but I loved reading it again, though. It was just fantastic the second time, too. $10 hauler from Salty Chopper in the building. Salty's on the phone line, too. Salty, I'll come to you in a second. I'll come to you next. Won the Moon Men Championship. Oh, nice, Salty. Putting up 190. Thanks for everything, Smitty. So you go into the Marsman League, and TMT goes down to the Moonman League. You guys keep your cards, you keep your status and everything, but you are the first infiltrator into the Marsman League from the Moonman League, and there's only 24 of us, and that's it. We might do something with Saturn Men, hang tight, but the Moonmen and Marsman League is fantastic. Won the Moonman Championship. Salty, congrats on that. Who won the Marsmen Championship? Let me look that up real quick just to make sure I give the props to the Marsmen champion. It was between Mark Cleveland and Jack of All Trades. It looks like Jack of All Trades won the championship against Mark Cleveland, it appears. So Jack of All Trades is the Marsmen champion. Salty Chopper is the Moonmen champion. So congrats, Salty. Appreciate you. And Grigor with a $10 hauler. I'm almost through these super chats. Phone line. Hang tight for me. 2 for 2, 1, 2 QB league, $100 buy-in. A big league, $1K buy-in. Brees, Achane, Adams won it for me in both leagues. Fantastic. Making some cash money, bro. You cleaned up, Grigor. Grigor's the man. Mac, $5 hauler. This one says Mark Andrews, Burrow, Dell, Jamar, and more. Had 2 trades vetoed unfairly. Held Brees and Achane. Bought low on Adams. And now in my third chip, 3K. Woo! Mac, they tried to hold you down. They tried to take you off the ballot, Mac. And you said, I don't care. I'm still going to win this, is what Mac said. Mac to the moon.
Let's go, mashed potatoes.
Yeah. Mac don't play around. You can try and hold Mac back, but you can't. Okay, let's go over to Salty. Salty, congrats on the championship, bro.
Thanks, man. Sorry. I'm stoked. I definitely am. I'm really happy with the way I drafted that team. I wasn't sure in the beginning, but looking back on it, pretty stoked with how it turned out. Had Aaron Rodgers in the beginning right away. Kind of put a nail in me right off the start, but then I ended up getting a 7 or 8 game win streak in the middle, and even Tank Dell went down, injuries, but still won.
Yeah, congrats, bro. Hey, Salty, I don't mean to cut you off real quick, but Perps just dropped a $300 hauler. Okay, so first of all, I put this on screen. Let me just say that not only is he a unicorn for this, but he is now in front of Christopher Smith, who tried to take the phone line from him. No, you're not going to take it from him now, Christopher. I dare you. Try.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
So $2.99. So Christopher goes down here. He did own the phone line rights. Now the phone line's brought to you by Perps again. And Perps dropped a $2.99 hauler. So let me put that in there, $2.99. Thank you, Perps. Appreciate you. Perps to the moon, man. Let me read Perps' message, Salty, and then I'm going to come right back to you. So Perps now has the phone line rights. Let me have the computer read this while I take a drink, because I've been talking like a maniac, and I need to take a little sip of this. I promise it's just prime. It's not laced with anything.
Perps 14 Super Chat $299.99 from Perps 14. Happy New Year party face with the party horn, hat, and confetti everyone. 2024 is going to be the best year yet. Smitty's in the zone and jacked for next season. Smitty's FF bootcamp starts soon. The real fun is about to begin and I can't wait. Best show in the industry. Thanks for everything, Smitty and TFFS family. Peace, hand sign. Enjoy the show and good night. Mirrored ball man dancing American football.
I love the American football. Hey, thank you, Perps. Perps to the freaking moon. To Saturn? To Saturn. Approve them? Can we approve them?
You've just been Smitty approved.
To the moon? Can what else can we do? You want to go to planet Uranus just to check it out?
And off he goes.
I mean, I just want to send perps everywhere. There's no harm in, like, you know, at Disneyland where you get on the train and it takes you around all of the rides. I just feel like he needed to go to Planet Uranus just to see what it's like. But perps, Smitty approved. Appreciate you. Thanks for dropping it. Salty, go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're good. Not much more. Just hyped on how everything ended up finishing up there. Ended up put up like 170 last week and 190 this week. Had CD and Brees and Jordan Love, Amon-Ra. Just a great year all around. Stoked for next year.
Yeah, man. All right, Salty, appreciate you, bro. Thanks for calling in. Call back anytime. Call him more often, Salty. And real quickly, thanks again, perps. I got SKS dropping $100 hauler.
Alert.
We have a $50 plus super chatter in the house.
Absolute fire. SKS. Let me have the computer read this again because I kind of enjoy letting somebody. I need a co-host, so my computer is essentially my co-host these days.
SKS 224 Super Chat $100 from SKS 224. My guy. THKS for the TXTS 24 TM League. 212 TMC NFRNCS. High score of chips wins SB. Big $4 finishing first reg SCN. Yet. Most PDS. Yet. Chip. Yet. And SB Yep LJ. Kai W. Achane. Zeus. Hill.
Zeus.
Engram. Butker. Henry Ridley Davis Love on bench. Profit sharing time.
Profit sharing time. SKS to the freaking moon. Thank you, pal.
To the moon.
For coming in strong with $100 hauler, man. I'm feeling very, very appreciated right now. I gotta admit, you guys are absolutely amazing. I'm a little bit blown back by how much generosity you guys are throwing my way with all your championships. You glorious winning individuals is what you are, all of you. SKS, appreciate you dropping that. Nice team. Thank you for sharing the love. Thank you so much, bro. Let's go over to DeBalt, then Ron Navy, then Aurora, then Rogan. DeBalt, you're live. Sorry about the long wait.
Nah, you're good, man. I love to see all this. This you deserve this. The community deserves this. We come in, the faithful. You're gonna have the good and the bad. But ultimately, it's our choice, and I actually won with a Superflex league that I have Patrick Mahomes as my 101, and I lost Chubb in that same league.
Nice job, bro.
And I still won.
Congrats, man. Who were your big two like winners for you this week? Who brought it home? Like, was it like Adams? Was it Lamb? Was it who was it that got it done? Attribute it to somebody.
Honestly, the Devo, DJ Moore, huge. DJ Moore, just build, awesome. But the one guy I loved all year, I got in Dynasty, and I listened to the show in the off season, and Puka,
nice,
my boy.
And I
all year long.
And I admit so for anybody who doesn't know the whole full circle story behind Puka, we talked about Puka a lot in the off season. And I know a lot of people don't think that that's true, or they're like, what? Because coming out of week one, I didn't give him the proper respect he deserved. We liked him in the offseason. We loved him in best ball. There's tons of best ball videos where you can watch, hey, grab this guy at the very end of the draft. Grab this guy at the very end of the draft. So Puka was a fantastic stash. After his week one performance, I admittedly wasn't sold on him to the degree that Puka was bringing it. I immediately adjusted and adapted. I took my laps. I put them all over the screens. I made everybody aware that I totally was, wrong. And I took my L on that for sure. But that's a good lesson, I think, for people to say, you don't adjust and adapt like the Achane haters. You're going to miss out. There's still plenty of opportunity. Just because you weren't first on the Puka game doesn't mean you didn't have good opportunities or abilities to buy them low to get in on it before it climbed even higher. And I just think that is probably one of the best lessons you could have learned from watching the show all year, is watching me misstep on somebody and not give him the proper flowers in week 1, even though I admittedly liked him in the offseason in best ball quite a bit. Like, he was a fantastic pick. I got him on a lot of best ball drafts. We talk about him a lot when we be in best ball drafts. If you look back on some of them, where, like, I remember even Ron Navy, who's on the phone line, we'd be sitting there chatting, going, yeah, Puka's great in the last round. You know, grab Puka. Puka's great. Yeah, I love him. We talked about him all the time. But I admit I did not give him his flowers coming out of week 1. And that's adjust and adapt in a nutshell. You got to do it. It's the only way to become the best version of yourself, because how many people win based on the draft? It's very rare, especially with today's injuries and the turnover at different positions now. I mean, look what DeBalt just said. He lost Chubb, drafted Mahomes too early, and the players that he accumulated are the ones that did it for him. And Mac, who said that his league kept vetoing his good trades, so he bought low on Adams, he held Achane, and I forget who else, Kyren, I think he said, and he smashed his league to pieces through adjusting, adapting, and managing. So, unbelievable, bro. DeBalt to the moon. Anything else, DeBalt?
Yeah, I just want to say, two of them I drafted really well. One I had to make in the Dynasty League. I made a lot of trades where my team was just too stacked this year. At Tyreek Hill, Puka Nacua, Debo, Breece Hall, Devon Achane, CMC, Stroud, AR5. Like, my team was just really, really stacked. There's nobody that was even going to come close. I literally said since week 3, no one's going to beat me, and no one did. But going back to Justin Fields, I'm first and foremost, I'm a huge Buckeye fan. I love Buckeyes before anything. I really hope he's not in Chicago next year. I hope they trade him. I hope they go after Caleb. I hope he goes to the Steelers. I hope he goes to the Falcons with Northam Smith. He's too good of a player to deal with a sad organization that does not give him a line and has bad coaching. That's just my 2 cents on it. I love Justin Fields. Yes, I am 1,000% biased, which is also why I'm a Stroud fan. But that's just the way I feel about it. I'm glad he balled out.
So we're going to have a Justin Fields board, where we talk about where he could go, the best possible landing spots, the most likely possible landing spots. There's a strong chance right now that he's no longer 100% going to leave. So we're going to have to figure that out. It's you almost don't want him having success on the way out the door, or they might be pressured to keep him. But I don't know. I feel like they want to move on from him. You're almost rooting for like a bad week 18. You're almost rooting for some sort of because if he finishes on a tear, then they're gonna have no choice but to rethink this. And I think before this week, they were probably 80% chance leaning toward getting rid of Fields. I don't want him in Chicago, bro. I want him to go somewhere else. But I think if I was coaching myself, like if I was GM and coach, I would keep him. But I would know how to build around him. I'd take Marvin Harrison Jr. number 1 overall. I don't care what anybody said. I don't care if it felt too high. I would do it. And I would pair these two together. Yep. I'd have DJ. Like, it would be we would start building this thing the right way. Not to mention, you'd have that other first rounder to do something amazing with, and you could still build. It's not like you'd be crapping the bed or anything. If they do get rid of Fields for another first rounder, they would be very, very smart. And again, this order, I'm going to show the order. The order's changed since today. I have not adjusted it. Chicago did lock in the 1. But if let's say, I think Arizona's 4 now. I forget where Chicago's other pick is. But if Chicago's able to take their quarterback of choice here, and they take Marvin Harrison Jr. up here and they trade this pick up, they could use the pick that they get for Fields, or one of the picks they get for Fields if they get multiple, to move that later pick up to number 2 and try and acquire Marvin Harrison Jr. Again, this order is not correct. It changes as of today. I just haven't had a chance to change it. But that's what I would do. If you forced me, if you gave me the job after they traded Fields, I'd still make it work. If I had the job before, I probably wouldn't move him, but I believe in him. But either way, they're going to...
Yeah. Going to MVH, I personally hope he lands in Arizona. I would love to see him with Kyler. Connor is doing a pretty good job. He got wear and tear. but I believe if you have MVH at the 1 and Marquise Brown at the 2
Perps.
as that deep threat, and they have McBride, it's going to open up that offense.
Yeah.
Greatly. I would love to see MVH.
It could be
go to
it could
the
be a
Cards.
good place. It could be and the Cardinals should have the 4th pick, so it should be a good place, 4th or somewhere around there. Appreciate you, DeBolt. I got to move on to the other callers.
A lot of stuff.
All right, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, DeBolt. To the moon. Perps dropping another 50 gifted memberships. I think that one's new. Perps to the moon. Perps dropped another 50, I think. Unbelievable. Thank you, Perps. Ron Navy, you're live.
Hey, Happy New Year, Smitty. We just brought it in here 14 minutes ago.
Attaboy. Attaboy.
Hey, did I miss it, or did you forget to give Pickens some flower and love today?
I hadn't had all the I couldn't do all the players. I was trying to screenshot everything I could to go live, and I ran out of time. But yeah, Pickens did well. Fantastic day out of Pickens. I think I might have had it somewhere, and I couldn't find the screenshot. Jordan Love, I hadn't talked about yet. I still can put those on screen. I ran out of time before
the
this.
reason I said that is my boy George Pickens helped the BB4 winner win $3 million.
Yeah.
He used them. He had Jordan Love, Kyren Williams, James Conner.
It's amazing.
Jaden Reed, George Pickens, C.D. Lamb, Amon, and Juan Johnson, surprisingly.
Wow.
That's the winning BB4 team.
That's crazy, man. That's awesome.
His whole team, he went 3 quarterbacks, Stroud, Love, and Tua. He had 6 running backs. He had, actually 7. He had Kyren, Cuba Hubbard, Mostert, James Conner, Swift. Swift was on his roster. Alexander Madison. Then he had Jordan Reed, George Pickens, Christian Watson, Amari Cooper, who probably got him into the finals, C.D. Lamb, and Amon Brown. And then he had 3 tight ends, Juan Johnson, Sam Laporta, and Pat Fryermuth. So
nice.
He went. That was the winning team.
Yeah, that's nice.
And he won convincingly, 195 points.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah. So, hey, and the second team place team had your boy Achane on it.
Attaboy.
Achane.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, Pickens had a good day. Pickens had 131, 7 receptions, was phenomenal. I didn't put these on screen yet. Aaron Jones is a really nice surprise at the end there. I know people didn't trust him fully, and for good reason. So if anybody benched Aaron Jones, you can't really beat yourself up over it if you had like a Zamir White, who also did well. 20 totes, 120, and 10 yards with the one, I think, adding 10 yards on his 1 reception. So, yeah, I think Zamir might have even outscored him, actually. So that was a good play if he did. And then I put Pickens up, and then Jordan Love. Jordan Love was really good. We're going to have a lot of conversation about Jordan Love next year. 256, 3 touchdowns. It looks really, really good. And he's doing it without Watson. They've got to address his hamstrings. They said it all pregame and I think at halftime even. They gotta look into what's causing his hamstrings. They've been doing that already. What's causing them to continuously have problems. But he's still got a lot of upside. People are going to forget Christian Watson. People are going to forget a lot of players, and I think he and London and some of these sophomore wide receivers that really kind of crap the bed on as a whole on the year will be some discounted guys. So it'll be an interesting offseason to say the least.
You were toting Jordan Love early. I mean, you were talking Jordan Love way early, and Jordan Love helped the guy win the BB4. So Jordan Love. Hey, what can you say? Look how early you were talking about.
Yeah, seasons.
And the guy who won it had Jordan Love. He used him.
Yeah, and he ended up finishing like QB7 at the end of the day. And he was a fantastic, super flex quarterback because he was top 7. So Jordan Love to the moon. It's going to be interesting where people rank him. All right, Ron, anything else? Or if you want to hang...
No. Congratulations to everybody that did well, finished well, and won their leagues. This is not a good year for me at all in fantasy football. It was too many injuries. I couldn't overcome them, but Hey, there's always the playoffs, and there's next year. So
You'll be back, and you did good. You did it good on a lot of other fronts on Underdog this year. You were doing amazing on the pick'ems. All right, we'll see you later, Ron.
All right.
Call back if you got something else. All right, later. Let's go over to Rogue. Actually, Rogan, hold on 1 second. Rogan and Aurora, just hang tight real quickly. Perps dropped a $20 hauler. Trust the process. Trust your gut and adapt and make moves when it counts. Trust Smitty, the Fantasy Football Show followers. You will win. Thank you, Perps. Appreciate you dropping that super chat. Perps again dropping that $299 super chat. He's a monster. And Paul says Smitty pimped out Hall all offseason despite the injury. Hall finished third in PPR. Well done, Smitty. Thank you, pal. Omar says $20 hauler from Omar.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Omar to the freaking moon. Omar says, Smitty, thank you for your advice this whole season. Won my first fantasy football championship thanks to you and recommending drafting Fields. I'm sorry Fields had such an up and down year. You know, it definitely was like at the end of the day was not what I had wanted or hoped for in terms of Fields' roller coaster ride of a season. He didn't finish the way that he should have. He didn't finish as high as he could have. But at the end of the day, you know, Fields did deliver. Let me see if I can. I'm going to refresh and see where he even finished in this one format I'm looking at. I mean, it's not even close to where we wanted him to be. But man, the guy does look good. I think, you know, reassessing him in the offseason, depending where he is going to be interesting and fun. So Omar, appreciate you. Glad he won your league and you smashed with it, bro. And this final super chat from G Money dropping a $50 wad. G Money coming in strong.
Alert.
We have a $50 plus super chatter in the house.
G Money coming in strong. G Money says, I told you all before, Smitty wins championships. I won the ship today. Thanks, Smitty. You're the GOAT. No, you're the GOAT, G Money, and I work for you. I work for you, G Money. G Money dropping a $50 wad. Colin, Happy New Year, brother. Wanted to say thank you for helping me win my league. Looking forward to your fantasy football tips in 2024. Appreciate you. Jack Mazarak, Jack of all trades, who won the Marsman League. Actually, the king of Mars, most points scored, plus the championship. Yeah, so I've made it a thing in the Marsman and Moonman League that you're not truly the king of the league, the king of the North or whatever. King of the North, king of the South. South is the Moonman League. King of the North is the Marsman League, unless you win both the points title and the Super Bowl. But the Super Bowl is first place, but you won't get the crown necessarily. So very few people will get the crown out of like the next 10 years. Maybe 2 people, 3 people will do it. So Jack is challenging himself to win that. Thank you again, Perps. Thank you everybody for dropping these, and I'll get to the phone lines. Rogan, you're live. Then Aurora. Logan, you're live. Go.
Hey, what's up? It's Rogan. How you doing?
What's up, Rogan?
Man, I just wanted to say thank you, dude. What a crazy year, bro.
Yeah,
thank crazy year. Happy New Year, man.
Happy New Year, bro. Did you win?
I did, man. I did. This was my first ever year playing.
To the moon.
You know, I'm that kind of dude, bro. I got to be the best at whatever I do. So I locked in. I found your channel. I researched, bro. I watched you like every freaking day, bro. I just stayed quiet on the sideline. Out of my draft, I remember, you know, I'm in a league with like 10 dudes that have been playing in the same league for 7 years. So they take it super serious. They buy a trophy. They put up like $2,000 on the line. And they projected me to be like last place, bro. I took your calls early. These Moonmen, like, you know, Brees Hall, Jameer Gibbs, just like, bro, DJ Moore. And I remember I called you right after the draft, and you're like, there's not a single player that I don't love on your team. Come back and check in with me later, bro. And I was, you know, I took a little bit of management, bro. But luckily I escaped injury all year. And I just put in the work, bro, every week, getting Fairburn, you know, for 14 points today, just making these little moves, sniping players that at the 5 o'clock game for them, and defenses like the Bills putting it on my bench so they can't get them. I went 12-2, most points, least allowed, showed up all my cocky friends, all of them quiet on the chat, did my homework, won by 40 today, led by the Cheetah Gang, Tyreek, baby. So yeah. I just had to say thank you.
Hey, bro. Congrats, man. And they're going to probably come at you and say, you know, lucky, first year luck or whatever, but you're going to.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. How you lucky that many times in a row? And to let somebody beat you by luck, it says something about you. So they're really kind of crapping on themselves by saying that. But
week after week, I was averaging 160 in the league every week. Like, they had no chance all year. They were hating me. I was the only one. Man, it was just so funny to see people expose themselves like that. But they didn't put in the work.
Hey,
you put in the work.
You know what I think you probably happened? And maybe I'm wrong on this, but you probably lost a little bit early on, right? Because you're waiting on Gibbs. You're waiting on.
I lost, won the first, lost the second, won 2, lost it, and I haven't lost since.
Okay, so it was like early on, though. I knew that your losses had to have been earlier when you're waiting on Gibbs, you're waiting on your boys to kind of come around. So congrats, bro. Nice job. Nice story.
I kept most of the core team, bro. Today I dropped my last 2 players, and I picked up Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady from my bench just so they could get a championship with me. I had to do it.
Yeah, hey, I like that. All right, bro. Let's go get it. Let's go get it again. Let's go get it again. There's no break. I mean, you might take a little break. I'm not, and I'll be here. So
I'll be watching you, bro. I'll be taking notes through the off season. I'll check in, but bro, this made my life, bro. This in crypto, man, is really helpful. Thank you.
All right, later, bro. Appreciate you. I'm up there. I'm up there with Bitcoin in this man's world. Aurora, you are live, pal.
Smitty, I just wanted to thank you, man. I mean, you deserve everything coming your way today after a lot of criticism some days from people and whatnot, but 2 out of 4 leagues I won because of you. And let me just read some of these players because of you that I drafted that I won. In one league, it was CeeDee Lamb. It was Jordan Love, James Conner, Pacheco, and Amon-Ra all on the same team this week. They exploded for me. It wasn't even close.
Filthy.
And then the other league, it was very close, but Harrison Butker, believe it or not, of all people, won me the league by 3 points this week. But I listened to you all year, and I've been listening to you for several years, but this year decided to call in a little more and super chat a bit. And I can't thank you enough, bro. You deserve everything coming your way today.
Hey, man, best job in the whole wide world. I couldn't think of anything else I'd rather do. And appreciate you guys. I feel like, I know I say it a lot in joking fashion and tone and everything, but I do essentially work for you guys because without you guys, I have nothing up here that anybody's going to watch. Therefore, I wouldn't be able to do it. So the real thanks goes to you, bro, and everybody watching. But fantastic. I mean, this feels like a great year. We have a lot of championships. There's a lot of success stories rolling in, and you guys had a killer year. And if anybody is somewhat new to the channel and you didn't do it, we'll get you a right size for 2024, and it all starts right away. We'll drop a Saturn man, probably a Moon man, and a Mars man in the next week.
And Smitty, before I go, I mean, besides saying Happy New Year to you, but everything that you've said is true. I mean, I know fantasy people in the community and whatnot, and nobody does it like you, where you start right after the season ends. So, much love to you, bro, and I'll be calling in again.
All right, appreciate you, Aurora. Go crush it. Go spend some of that cash money, bro, and celebrate responsibly tonight. We'll see you tomorrow for bright and early for fantasy football work day. Later, bro.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.
All right. Don't be late. Don't be late to work. This is your second job here. Alex with a $2 won 2 championships this year. Smitty, thank you for all your advice. Thank you, Alex. Appreciate you for dropping the super chat and letting us know that you dominated. What a year. What a year. And don't forget, anybody that wants year-round content, written year-round content, get on over to thefantasyfootballshow.com and cop you a membership to the site, thefantasyfootballshow.com, okay? Rankings, bold predictions. And I got some surprises, I think, up my sleeve for 2024. So get buckled up and ready for it. It's going to be an amazing content year on thefantasyfootballshow.com. This is the written stuff, the trade calculator, the bold predictions, everything, the articles and year-round rankings. Those rankings will be updated at some point today for 2024 and beyond. All the dynasty, all the super flex, all the everything. Yeah, what a day. Smitty has to feel proud of Achane after all the hate that goes out there and wins championships. Kyren and Achane put so much work in for us, bro. What they did. Josh Allen has played like an MVP, says Slim. I know there was some Lamar Jackson hate in here a minute ago, or not hate, but just he's not the MVP. That's not hate. That's just disagreement. But hey, I don't like Lamar Jackson. Thank you, hated Chris. Appreciate you. Thank you guys for dropping all your questions and amazing. CMC absolutely needed a breather during championship week. It sucked, bro. Like I said, I would have probably won 15K, maybe 10, maybe 5. I mean, I think I was trending toward the higher end of that. If Christian McCaffrey would have come out and did work, all I needed him to do was do his usual, semi-usual stuff. Such a kick to the nuts, bro. I had this right here. I mean, won 1,000, 80th place out of 100 and roughly 112,000 entrants in this one. I got 80th place, 112,000 entrants, $1,000, 80th place. But I was teeter-tottering between 15 and 5K. And if Christian McCaffrey and Alvin Kamara would have dropped massive loads at the same time today and not both get hurt, I mean, I could have won the first place 200K. But hey, it's still a good win. 80th place out of 112,000 entrants. I'm fine with it. It was still representing the brand and the show. I'm proud of the best ball outcome. When people say, "Hey, how'd you do in best ball, Smitty?" I'm still fine, with the outcome. But man, I was teeter-tottering, on like top 10 placing in a 112,000 tournament, 112,000 place tournament with a 200K prize. And then I finished 29th in this one. Over 60,000 entrants, super flex, $250. I was teeter-tottering on the 500 territory, but anyway, I lost a lot of players on this one. This team got decimated with injuries, and it still finished 29th, but that's the nature of it. You got to adjust and adapt. A lot of people had injuries. Best ball is fantastic. If anybody wants to participate in the 2024 best ball drafts, which will be immediately, make sure you hit that link in the live chat and do it live. Hit that link in the live chat. Code Smitty will double your first deposit up to $100. $100. Smitty called Brees and Achane. Thank you, Great Scott. Appreciate you. Brees Hall is him. Brees Hall is freaking him. Zay Flowers is him. What a great day. What a great day.
Devon Achane, please report to your shuttle to Saturn. Your shuttle is leaving. Prepare for departure. Touchdown probability.
He's Kyren, he's 7 feet tall, and he knows how to handle a ball. He's Kyren, he can take frowns and turn them upside down with his touchdowns.
Get Brees.
Brees Hall is 8 foot tall. He will always answer the mother freaking call. Don't let him fall. In the third, don't stall. Just give Batman the freaking football.
He's Brees. He's Brees.
He does a hell of a job. A hell of a job. A hell of a job.
Brees Hall, please report to the moon.
He does a hell of a job.
What a lineup that was. What bold prediction? Thank you for the $20 super chat, my broski. Coming in strong, G Money again.
Alert. Super chat alert.
G Money. What bold predictions landed this year? I mean, those are a couple. Not everything bold prediction had to come from the Moonman list, you know what I mean? Like, some people try and define the channel that way, especially when the Moonman list started off kind of slow. Debo wasn't doing Debo things yet. We had some injuries. Brees Hall wasn't up to par yet. Gibbs wasn't up to par yet. The Moonman list took some time to get going, and so we got judged a lot by it. Like, hey, Smitty, you not feel looking really good right now on your Moonman list, and your show's not doing well, huh, Smitty? And it's like we're crushing it in so many other ways, Like Achane was one of the biggest offseason talked about players, but just from a different angle. And then after week one, right after week one, he's one of the biggest pushes and easiest players to acquire to some degree. And so, like, you know, the bold predictions don't, in my mind, have to be defined as Moon Men and Mars Men. And in some ways, and I'm not getting rid of them, I'm adding to it. I'm adding a Saturn Man list now. But in some ways, I don't love those lists because of how people can judge the sum total of the channel off of this list versus what freaking content we produce day in and day out that helps people. So if someone's going to define it off of 10, 12 players we pick and act like the other content doesn't win a league, it's kind of nerve-wracking sometimes to me. But it doesn't mean I'm going to stop doing it. It just means that it's an annoyance that's going to be a part of it when there is a sort of slow start to the Moon Men or even a bad year for the Moon Men list. But I mean, we really at the end of the day, we kind of crushed both of them, all the bold predictions outside the Moon Men list and Mars Men to a degree. I mean, we missed some. Let's be honest. My biggest miss of the year was believing Bijan would be every bit as good as any running back in the National Football League from a fantasy perspective, and he was not. And you could say that was one of my bigger predictions, and that didn't land, but that didn't stop us from smashing the hell out of so many other predictions. So, you know, had we landed that on top of everything, it would have felt like, you know, mic drop, why are we even coming back next year? But, you know, we are going to miss some. That was a huge miss. I'm admitting it. It was a huge miss, but I think a lot of the industry missed that one together. You know? And it's going to be a curious case walking into 2024, that's for sure. Arthur Smith better get fired. If he doesn't get fired, then we're going to have some question marks walking in to the upcoming season. No doubt about it. I'm refreshing when this money is going in the underdog account. Because I don't see it there yet. I don't see it there yet. I'm looking. Jack of all trades. What's up, Mars Man?
Yes, sir.
Congrats
Yes,
on your
sir.
win. Congrats on your win.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It was most points scored in the league and the championship.
Oh, you did get both.
That's right. The king.
The king. You are the king. I thought you were saying that it's not. I didn't get it. I didn't know that you got both. I'm sorry. I wasn't. As you can tell, I barely pay attention to half of anything I'm doing outside of the live shows. I'm in two leagues that I joined with some of the Vegas guys that I met in Vegas, and they talked me into a couple leagues, and they were last minute leagues, and I felt like drafting again, so I did it. I hate that when you commit to this, but they're fun. They're a great group of guys, and like there's so many times, man, where I just couldn't check my lineup. It's on Yahoo, or is it on Yahoo? I think it's on Yahoo. I don't even remember what app it's on, to be honest with you. I think it's it's on Yahoo. And it's just like, I'll be sitting there in a live stream and I'll be like, I haven't looked at those two teams this week, have I? And I'll go over there and I'll have somebody that's out in the lineup. Like I'm the worst owner in those leagues. I think I did pretty well in the Mars Men league to check my lineup to be. I think last week I left somebody. I feel like I left somebody in there that was out. I think it was Olave that week. He was out. I left him in the Mars Man. I didn't even check. I was like, there's only so much time I have. It's crazy.
Yeah, you're stretched real thin for sure.
Yeah, I need Rock out to manage all my leagues. I wanted the Bruce to do it. The Bruce has been MIA for a little while. You know, we want the Bruce back as soon as the Bruce can get back. But I always wanted to like pawn those off on the Bruce and be like, Bruce, manage all my teams. Call in and tell me if something's gone astray, and we'll fix it on the live phone line. What else can I help you, bro? How did you?
Don't forget about the big predictions there too. I predicted the Browns Lions Super Bowl.
Yeah, up here. Yeah, we got to go through some of those. Let me just read off a couple. So we had the We're gonna do this again. The $50 board. Essentially, if anybody dropped a $50 hauler in the offseason, we wrote their bold prediction up. And let's see here. We got a lot of crazy ones up in here. Crazy ones. I don't think a lot of them stand. Like some of them are so bold, they were hard to land on. JT 100 plus or 1,500 yards and 15 TDs. JT did come on strong. Wolfer says Herbert TD record. That didn't work. Garrett says Jags to win the division. I'm looking here. Aloha says Bijan benched. Maybe he wins. You know, we're going to have everybody vote on these, like when we collect like the top ones. But Bijan getting benched feels pretty much, I think, one of the most accurate ones. Aloha might actually win this. I mean, that's unbelievable. He had a couple wild ones, bro. Wild ones. He had New England eliminates KC. He had Vikings. Vikings show up in the championship game. He had, didn't he have Jimmy G would win the MVP or something? He had some wild ones. Aloha, I don't know where Aloha's been. He took a hiatus. I don't know where he's been. We've got, I don't know where yours is, to be honest. There's a lot of them up here. What was yours? The Browns and what?
Browns and Lions Super Bowl.
Browns and Lions Super Bowl. Browns and Lions Super Bowl. I don't see it on here. I'm sure it's here. I just don't. Man, that'd be crazy if you got that one right. I'm trying to see like what one stands out, you know, as the best one. Pal Derby said Josh.
You never know how the season's going to turn out, you know. Like
hey,
the draft.
This one's pretty good.
So
Pal Derby says Josh Allen, MVP, wins the Super Bowl. That would be crazy if that one wins, Pal Derby. Ron said Hopkins, 1,400 yards and 12 touchdowns. Remember, he loved the Hopkins trade, or the Hopkins signing. A-Rod MVP, obviously that didn't work. What's here? Jack of all trades, Herbert MVP. You had one on here. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to go through them all, but those are fun. Those are fun to look at. Anything else, bro? What else you got, real quick?
Yeah,
before
I drafted number 4 in the league, and I took CMC, but the guy ahead of me took Bijan Robinson, and it would have been a totally different season because I was going to take Bijan at number 4, but he got plucked in front of me, and then the season turned out how the season turned out.
Yeah. Well, good job on the Mars man, bro.
I had the big stones this week to play Kyler Murray as the quarterback.
Yeah. What was the question you asked me?
About what? About Khalil Herbert?
Yeah, that worked out.
It worked out. 20 points. That's nice. And, set McLaurin.
Yeah, McLaurin I'm glad that one worked out for you. I forgot which question you asked me, and I was like, it was Herbert. That's good. All right, hey Jack, I'm gonna let you go, bro. I'm tired. I'm gonna bounce for now. I'll be back tomorrow.
This place is going to the dogs, so I'll talk to you later.
Hey, Jack of all trades, winner of the Mars Man League. Appreciate you, bro. Congrats on that win, bro. Congrats on that win. You're the man, the myth, the legend. Thank you, G Money, for your $20 hauler. Thanks to everybody. Thank you, Perps, for the monster wad. Perps is the highest super chatter. Actually, you know what? Because this live stream's dipping into, because he did that, he actually dropped that. He's the highest super chatter of the year. So the highest super chatter of the year, I got this board right here. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, so highest super chatter of the year was Garrett with $600. It's now Perps. He now owns the highest super chat of the year. Garrett, thank you for being the highest super chatter of the year in 2023, pal. You're an absolute monster. Perps is taking over this spot unless you want to grab it back. But $2.99 is the highest super chat of the year in January, on January 1st. So congrats. Ron has the highest super chat ever of $7.65. And gifted memberships all time was TNT and Double D. 250. We kind of tried to calculate it. Where's Double D been? Double D usually does his taxes. He's usually here. I don't know where he's at. So highest super chat of the year is Perps so far on January 1. Happy New Year to all of you. Appreciate every single one of you. So blessed to have you here watching the channel. Please tell, if I could ask you to do anything, if anybody here is saying, Smitty, thanks, I love the super chat, but I can't, or I will super chat later, or I'm just gonna hit that thumb up button, and that's fine. I love everything. I don't need any. It's always appreciated, never expected. But if I could ask anything from all of you, is to just tell people about the show the best of your ability. That does as much as someone super chat sometimes. Because if that turns into 4 people now watching, that turns into 8 people, that turns into 25, that turns into 50, this show gets bigger, this show gets better. And sometimes people can't super chat. Like, super chat is amazing, but sometimes that also is so helpful that if you can't do anything else, that is amazing. That is all I could ever ask for too. So if you guys could just try your best. I know you might not want to tell people in your most competitive league, but who cares about your work league? Or what about when you're picking up food every day? You go get lunch and you see a dude standing there, or a gal standing there in a in a hat that says, Raiders on it, or somebody sitting there in a jersey at a stoplight. Tell one person a day at lunch. Whatever you can do, that makes this show bigger. And I promise you, the bigger we get, the more giveaways we'll have, the more signed jerseys and helmets. At some point, we're going to get a box sent to us with 16 autographed jerseys that I'm just going to be like, okay, let's give one away every week. Like, that's the kind of stuff that's going to come as we get bigger. So please tell everybody you can. I know you can't tell everybody, but tell everybody you can about the show. That will help me more than anything. Appreciate you all. I'll see you all tomorrow. Congrats on all your championships. Happy New Year. Great job, everybody. Let's get to 2024. Let's get to work.
He's Kyren, he's 7 feet tall, and he knows how to handle a ball. He's Kyren, he can take frowns and turn them upside down with his touchdowns.
Devon Achane, please.
Brees Hall is 8 foot tall. He will always answer the mother freaking call. Don't let him fall. In the third, don't stall. Just give Batman the freaking football.
He's Brees. He's Brees.
He does a hell of a job. A hell of a job. A hell of a job.
Brees Hall, please report to the moon.
He does a hell of a job.
Leave it on the fields.
Just in time.
Fields of dreams.
Fields like making love.
Outstanding in his fields.
Fields so good. Fields general. My fields good. Uneven playing fields.
Battlefields tested.
Fields. Fields. He's for reals.
It's time for some revenge.
Ridley didn't really do it. Hall deserves to be by himself on this screen. Revenge Tour season, absolute monster. Unbelievable. See you all later. Deuces.